Hello, water signs. This is going to be your elemental reading, elemental water reading for March 2022. This will be for the signs of Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. If the story doesn't resonate here with you, you can look back at the other elementals that would represent your moon and rising sign. Of course, you can always purchase a private reading, personal reading, in order to gain more insight into your situation. You can click on the eye that's going to show up here at the end of the video. That will take you directly over to the website where you should find tarot consultations on the main menu. Not a lot to be said. I am using the Radiant White deck. We have the Levita Sibilis here for clarification. And then we have the Sibilis Oraculum to wrap the reading up. And these cards, it took almost a year and a half for me to connect with this deck, but it is awesome. I love it. So, I've already done some meditation and shuffling on the water glyph. So let me go ahead and turn the camera around. I'll do another shuffle, another rifle, and then we're going to lay the cards, okay? All right, here we go. Oh, wow. Right off the bat. So either there is a choice or decision that you need to make for the month of March. For some of you, this could already be starting. For others of you, you could be right in the thick of it right now. For the rest of you, this may not come about until maybe the end of March, going into April. There is no timing in the tarot. Normally, literally the cards are dealing themselves, as you can see. Normally, twos represent a choice, an opposition, a duality, a decision, a crossroads. For some of you, you could be trying to juggle two things at once. I see it show up a lot of times when people got two jobs and they're just trying to, rob Peter to pay Paul, trying to hold it down. But this is also this idea that, you are at sea emotionally. See all the ships as they're being tossed about? And I've even seen this card show up when it speaks about moving, a location, a change of residence or something. So as we can see here, this is the core issue. We saw the two cards fall themselves. This is going to be our foundation. It is the Queen of Swords. This is the energy of the near or distant past. Oh, wow. It is the Knight of Pentacles. Always a good card to see. Now we need to find out what may be the unknown factor coming in for the month of March here. Oh, wow. The Temperance. That's interesting. And then finally, we want to know what the energy of the near or distant future may be. The Ten of Swords. Now, don't let that throw you. That's first. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because it is a 10. And that means it's going to be changing. Okay? It's not the 4. It's not the 5. It's not the 6. It's the 10. And so usually when I see this card show up, whatever it represents, whatever this quote-unquote negative situation is, it tends to clear itself up very, very quickly. What has been coming across for me, because this card's come up a few times before, and what is a new thing that has been coming to me is this idea of feeling tired. I think everybody's just a bit tired, mentally battered and bruised. We've been through a tough couple of years, and just when we thought that we were going to be able to take a big breather, boom, we got conflict in Ukraine. Okay? So there's some more tension on us. And so this is just could be the idea that you're just tired. Okay? So we'll take a look at that. Don't let that freak you out. Okay. What is over the entire reading? It is the Ace of Swords. Now, what I can tell you about the Ace of Swords, it is different from the other aces in the sense that whenever it shows up, you are guaranteed that there are going to be changes. Now, remember, I just said that's going to be changing. You know what it changes into? Changes into an ace. So the ace could be this thing about new ideas coming, new concepts, new thoughts, new conversations coming in. But it's double-edged, right? It's a sword. So it could also be the excessive degree of everything. Maybe this is you're worried too much, or you're focused too much on what the negative may be. Either way, this card is a yes. All aces are yeses. Okay. And we see here in this center, this Two of Pentacles, this idea of, you know. Now, one of the meanings of the Two of Pentacles is play, but I never get this guy's on the beach playing. To me, he's just out there standing on one foot, kind of tossing around these. That don't look like fun to me, okay? It just doesn't look like fun to me, but what do I know? All right? That's just me. And I don't see no smile on his face. He's just out there standing on one foot, juggling these things around. Okay? These two coins. And so most definitely, now I have two court cards here. So if I'm going to use the traditional meaning, definitely there could be two people involved in here. But as many of you know who've been with me for a while, the Knights always, always, always are events. It is about some news that comes in that moves the situation along. The thing about the Knight of Pentacles is that he's the slowest knight in the deck. So what this tells me is that this news has taken a long time to get here. But the one thing I always like about the Knight of Pentacles is this idea, there's this pentacle, can you see it? Is this idea that this is typically he arrives with good news. Now this good news could be, you know, of a financial nature. It could be, hey, you know, you're going to have some extra money, or, you know, you're going to be able to get that extra job, or you're going to get that job, or you're going to be able to learn some new skills and whatnot to help you make more money. Whatever the case may be, it is always looked upon when the Knight of Pentacles shows up to say that it is good news and you should welcome him. Now, this is a water sign reading, and so we see this Queen of Swords here. No matter what your sun sign is, as we go through life, we encounter different situations. We are able to embody the different suits. So as a Queen of Swords, this is somebody who is a logical thinker. Sentiment's not going to enter into the picture. They're going to be objective about whatever it's doing. They may even be a little bit brusque and a little bit nasty, but clear thoughts, okay, and inviting in the truth. As you can see, she is seated high above the clouds. Her heads are not in the clouds. She's got a bird's eye view of everything that's going on. My light hasn't been responding lately. Of everything that's going on. All right. And she can see clearly. Now, this queen is somebody who is very intelligent, forthright. So she can be a counselor. She can be, you know, she could be a lawyer, a writer, an editor, a doctor, a dentist, a surgeon, a police officer, a chef. Any place where keen intellect and or sharp tools are going to be used. So that's why I always include writers in that. You know why? Because the pen is mightier than the sword sometimes. All right. And so if you know how to wield it right, boom, it could be a lethal weapon. So we see her here at the bottom. So for me, this tells me that for some of you, March is going to be a month where you're going to have to embody the qualities of this queen. Okay. I think what stands out to me the most is the Temperance card. The Temperance card is a card of moderation. Okay. It is moderating the fire, which is your passion, your focus, your determination, your desire, maybe even your anger. Okay. Moderating it with your emotions. How do you feel about something? Does it make you sad? Does it make you giddy? Does it make you fearful? Right? So it is about finding that balance between what you want and what you feel. Because sometimes we can get mixed messages about that. All right? We may think we want something because it'll make us feel a certain way, but then when we get it, we be all, oh no, that's not what I wanted. So that's the balance thing, right? The card often will show up for me. I can't speak for any other reader. When someone wants to know, am I on the right path? Well, the answer is, yeah, you are on the right path. It may take you a while to get there, though. See how far that trails off into the distance. So, and then there's some mountains, some obstacles that you're still going to have to face. And so this is what happens when we have changing conditions. Now, because I have these two traditionally as people, I can only look at the Two of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords as it relates to the Temperance card. Okay? And I'm going to look at that Ten of Swords. I've seen this card show up sometimes when there's a legal issue looming large. All right? It just to me feels like, I'm kind of tired. So let me get to the Two of Pentacles here. The Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles. Oh, wait. There it is. Well, isn't this interesting? Isn't this interesting? Now, all of that stuff when I told you about working 2 jobs, okay, juggling your income, we know it talks about good news. We see it here. We're speaking about the balance. You may have had some difficulty concentrating or focusing. That's why this is coming out. Okay? And the reason why I'm bringing all of this up is because when the Two of Pentacles shows with the Ace of Swords, it is an indication that you will need to keep a tight rein on your budget at this time, as overspending on frivolous items will lead to disappointment and misery. In other words, you probably stabbed your own self in the back. Think twice prior to purchasing non-essential items. You are asked to reevaluate any new considerations or plans. It is a message to consider all relevant spending. Do not overspend or be flippant about your financial issues at this time. Remember I was talking about that balance between what I want and how it's going to make me feel? Okay. There's that. Now, I got to go all the way to the back of my book or the other way and pull up this Ten of Swords. Well, it definitely represents the end of a negative situation, and it says that the crisis point has been reached. Now, it can indicate that there will be a time of difficulty where you may feel a sense of loss, hopelessness, and sorrow. But it can also be an indication of some kind of unsuccessful dream or plans that have been shattered, and it's going to be difficult to accept this. You know what I always like to say about this card, though? If I'm going to get any ugly swords card in a reading, I prefer it be this one. You know why? Because it says it happens quickly and it's over fast. Okay? Really, that's what that says to me. And I guess it depends on how you look at it. But a lot of people, oh no, not the Ten of Swords, But I'm like, oh yeah, Ten of Swords. That means that crap happens. It's over and it's done with quickly. Okay? So this may also be implying that a job or social position may be in jeopardy, or a separation or severance of ties within a relationship. And that could be any type of relationship. It can also be talking about travel. Over water, by water. See the ships heading in that direction. This card is the darkest before the dawn. Okay? It may be warning you to take the utmost caution when undertaking any new venture, particularly if you will be dealing with people who you do not know well or at all. These feelings of distrust and suspicion may be warranted, so look closely at all avenues and from all angles and only proceed if you feel it is the right thing to do for you. It may be telling of the conclusion of something that has caused a great deal of pain and anguish in the near past, whether it be a relationship or business situation. The 10 implies that the crisis point has been reached. Things will now be resolved and will improve all around. Now, this card can also be indicating or depicting a trap or ambush-like situation and can tell of negative occurrences. And like I said, imply that there could be a legal issue. Sometimes she could even be a judge, like a, okay, I've seen her show up like that. So I personally don't think that this is anything super bad to worry about, because the bottom line is, sometimes crap just happens to us. I mean, sometimes we just get the short end of the stick, and there's no reason to lament it or, just take your lumps and keep moving. You know what I mean? So I want to read to you the meaning of the Temperance card. Sometimes it's harder to get up from some knocks than others. But the key is, as long as you've got breath in your body and you can get up, you should get up. All right? I don't know if that makes any sense, but there it is. Here is the Temperance card. Now, tells of a karmic situation where one will be forced to learn independence, unity, and justice. That nodal thing, that back and forth, those two. Okay. Kind of a thing. It also tells of a need to achieve balance, harmony, and moderation in all things. It asks you to maintain balance in your life and do not be hasty or rush things at this time. Show inner strength and patience, and you will find success in your endeavors. Patience and control is what is needed. This is a good practice to follow. Perseverance and cooperation with others will gladly give a successful mix of ideas and can achieve the most successful outcome. It indicates a focus on reassessing situations that had seemed to be in the past but may reemerge to be dealt with again. Again, it says don't rush things. Take things one step at a time, and within due course, all will be okay. It asks you to explore your emotions by considering the things that you desire and the things that you dread. And that at this time, when the card shows up, it says that this is a time of recuperation for you, both spiritually and physically. So it is important to keep distractions to a minimum in order to complete the process of healing. I don't think that is what is going to, this is, this implies that something happens. And when it happens, it's kind of like stick the fork in it, it's done. So you literally can go from this good news, and I don't know, there's something about this news I feel that throws you off balance. This is what I think. This is what I'm feeling, what I'm picking up. And so these two cards are coming to ask you to, get your act together so you can think clearly. It may be fun to be juggling this crap, but if you don't get it in check, and I think this is just destined to, I don't want to say destined. Nothing is destined or fated to happen in the sense that you don't have the ability to choose. So it's going to be your choice how this plays out. And even if you make the wrong choice and it doesn't play out right, you'll be recovering from it quite quickly. Okay? I'm going to look at this Ten of Swords here to see exactly what the cards may say, or if they will give us any indication as to what this is about. You know, maybe you've been so stressed out, you know, that you've been suffering from headaches and stuff like that. And this says that's about to end. That's what it says. It's going to be changing. Look. The desperate jealousy. Something happens here. There is the Donna Maritata. Now, what this says is that there's somebody around you who is very jealous of you, who is, this is why I think this card is asking you to be on your P's and Q's. Okay? Somebody's trying to stab you in the back. And they may succeed at it. Okay? Let me explain. This could even describe this person. This is somebody who's always feeling sorry for themselves. They've always got some excuse why things aren't the way that they are, you know, aren't good for them. This comes with the consumed with jealousy card. It's known as the desperate jealousy or the consumed with jealousy card. Depression, dejection, apathy, anguish, and a lack of enthusiasm for the future. It heralds the beginning of a dark time. When delineating someone's outlook, this card describes someone who has given up and do not want to fight anymore. It can represent someone who feels that they have nothing to live for. Now, if somebody's telling you that, they're not being truthful. The card indicates not seeing beyond the present moment, maybe even being stuck in the past and unable to resolve a problem without finding the necessary inner resources to pull through. Yes, the desperate jealousy indicates all forms of self-harm, feelings of guilt, shame, and deep regret. It heralds tears, deep worry, and many hours spent crying. It can also represent substance abuse, which could also be this card. See the 2 cups filled with drink overflowing. The card can sometimes symbolize the advanced stage. It warns of a toxic environment and of toxic people around you. You may even feel that you are surrounded by nice people and that nothing is toxic. But this invariably turns out to be false, revealing that those nice people have been deeply envious and have been scheming behind your back to cause you ruin. It indicates treachery, slander, gossip, and envy. It warns of danger and a danger coming from your circle of acquaintances. In love, it indicates extreme jealousy, envy, and possessiveness, as well as a selfish love centered around self-gratification or social climbing. Love, if it still can be called that, comes with a heavy price to pay. In any kind of relationship, it indicates a lack of trust and a loss of self-respect. Financially, it can indicate heavy losses that can lead some people to suicide. Debt, insolvency, overspending, as well as trouble with the law, a cutthroat work environment. Legally, it can indicate a judgment made against you in criminal proceedings. A legal issue. It warns, too, that you may be about to trust someone who will ultimately lead you to your ruin. It heralds scandals, slander, gossip, and backstabbing. This can be anybody. She represents the Queen of Coins. She doesn't always have to have children. Okay? In this case, she's showing up like this. And let me tell you what she means. Like that. She is greedy and self-centered. That's what she is. And this could even be you while I'm talking. So if that's the case, if you're doing some dirty dealings, know it's going to come back on you. Reversed. This is someone who is in trouble due to her own problems, or someone who will get into trouble as a result of helping another. It describes a calculating, malicious, and wicked woman, scheming, remorseless, opportunistic, and untrustworthy. And more often than not, she is also a bad mother. She is the sort of person who thrives on gossip, lies, and playing both ends against the middle without feeling the slightest bit guilty. The card represents falseness, persistent vindictiveness, and someone, particularly a woman, who is malicious and cunning. This is a woman who has caused or will cause many problems and put obstacles in your path due to jealousy. These are the characteristics. If this is a business situation, in terms of a colleague or a businesswoman, do not trust her. She is defined by a ruthless approach and a big ego and can quickly change sides to suit her own convenience. It can refer to hesitancy due to instability and the unwillingness of you to make financial decisions because the risks are greater than the benefits. That's where it's turned back on you. If this is someone else, it said it could also be a person who puts the fear of God into you, like a stern older woman who has a position of authority over you. All right? Now, if this is a romantic relationship, it's a bitter ex-partner. And due to the presence of the two children, describes an ex-partner who may use the children as leverage against their ex-partner or husband. Now, as I say, this card is either you or it's going to be somebody else that you know. And the reason why I'm reading this to you, it says that when this card represents a situation, it describes conditions of hostility, perfidy, backstabbing, and actions taken with the sole purpose of doing damage to you. Literally, that's 3 cards that are telling me the same thing. Okay, here is the falsita. It's not somebody stealing from you. This is somebody who does something to you and they do it to you for personal reasons. Okay? You know that old saying, misery love company? Folks don't ever want to see somebody else get ahead. You know what I'm saying? The card of lies, false adulation, or compliments given with an ulterior motive. It is an extremely negative card, especially near cards that represent people. It will represent someone often very close, possibly a long-standing acquaintance and or family member who is two-faced and plotting against you. It represents murky and thorny situations woven with the tight web of lies and deceit. Again, you are not aware of the true state of affairs because the people are skilled at knowing how to deceive you. It represents someone who is taking advantage of your trust and good faith in them. It represents someone with false intentions. It indicates something is done or received in an illegal way. It can refer to contraband, fake goods, illegal merchandise, or just simply people who meddle in other people's affairs with dangerous consequences. That old curiosity killed the cat. Now, it indicates negativity, particularly when it is near. There are no groups of people here. This is just one person who pretty much is just a snake. And their motivations are self-envy, self-interest, deceit, flattery, servility, and empty compliments. Now, if this is you, maybe you've been drinking and partying and doing things that you haven't been doing. And in that particular state, right, you have left yourself open to something bad happening to you. In which case, if this represents you in that case, this says that you have misjudged someone and you have not seen the situation for what it is. And can indicate that you yourself have false motives against someone. If this is a romantic relationship, it speaks about somebody, a partner with ulterior motives. And it precludes the possibility of true love. Unless this is a devious third person. Financially, it warns of false opportunities, fake money, deceitful colleagues, Ponzi schemes, contraband, swindles, gossip, slander, and deceit. This card always warns that the situation is hiding a trap and that there is danger lurking in the background. An ambush-like situation. Now, I don't know who that is or what that situation is about, but the cards have given you a clear warning that during the month of March, this person is going to rear their... Oh my God, and that was underneath there? Oh, that's not bad. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. This is what came out. That group of people... I don't know if this is you going on vacation or you going on some trip. Be careful. But those were the cards that came out. Oh, that's not good. Drug usage. Drinking. Formulate a question for the... That's bad. Don't do that. Okay. And this could be like the idea of somebody slipping you a Mickey. Okay? Don't do it. I saw this TV show, I think I was watching it yesterday, where this girl had some nail polish on that if you stick it, you could use it to test your drink to see if somebody puts some. I don't even know if that stuff exists. I'm like, I need to get some of that. I'm going to try to find out if it really does exist. Here we go. Opposition. The cards are trying to give you a heads up before the end of the month. This is a core issue card. Let me tell you about the core issue. The core issues identifies where there is a fracture or a miscalculation in logic related to your question. Therefore, it is advisable to set aside any defensive emotions such as anger, denial, or self-deprecation that may arise upon receiving the message, because those emotions are contrary to the purpose of clarification. Opposition. Oh no, she would never do that to me. Oh no. I think that's page 68 or 69. Okay. Let's see here. Well, that's Morte, the death card. Transformation. Opposition. It represents the lion and pride, and the spear represents an external threat. All cats are territorial, but the lion will go to any length to protect its space, whether the threat is real or imagined. If a person, place, thing, or idea is rubbing you the wrong way, I strongly advise you to dig deeper to try to discover what the antagonistic feelings are really about. This is especially true if nothing has been done directly to you. What does that person, place, or thing really represent in your mind? Why does the way a person looks or perceives the world or communicates, behaves, irritate you so much that you would do absolutely so much If it irritates you so much, what they do has absolutely no effect whatsoever on your life. If the opposition you are experiencing is with someone who has done something directly to you and you cannot forgive them, then ask yourself, why are they still in your life? If you are too emotionally dependent on them, let them go. Then be aware that you are making a conscious decision to continue hurting. If the antagonist is someone whom you can't cut off or keep your distance from, then it may be time for a forthright conversation. When you receive the opposition card, the questions you need to consider: how does this opposition affect the quality of your life? Are you blaming others for your misfortune, poverty, or some other loss? Do you subconsciously want to be antagonized or get a thrill from drama or feel a sense of validation or importance being the receiver of antagonistic feelings directed at you? Is there a part of you that feels comfortable being the victim or at least being perceived as such by others? Has a reasonable compromise or middle ground been proposed already that you may be stubbornly refusing? What are the most likely consequences if you continue to fight? Why do you feel stuck if you are free to move forward? How do your weaknesses factor into the equation? Do you repeat the same negative behavior, thereby creating opposition time and time again? And or have you faced your dark side? Now, it says if you allow your feelings to amass to a breaking point rather than saying something because you expect others to just get it, that isn't fair, especially if your gripe is about someone's selfish or insensitive behavior. Why? Because if they got it, they wouldn't have been selfish or insensitive in the first place. Okay? So, I feel that what this card is saying for you is that you're going to be faced with some opposition from someone that you know. And all of those questions that I just posed are questions you're going to have to be thinking about. You're going to have to project, you're going to have to look at the core issue of it and decide what you want your choice to be. Right? Because I do think the cards have come up to warn you. To warn you that this is going to be coming. And it will be coming from somebody that you know. Very close to you. This is what I have for you, water signs. Sometimes the cards warn. And so, be on the lookout. Until next time, be well, stay safe. Again, if you want to book a reading, you can click on the little eye over there. Till next time, be well, stay safe, and namaste.